So YouTube live streaming has been growing in popularity. I think it has some serious issues. I myself stream on it whenever I go live, but its downsides almost outweigh its good. First and foremost, horizontal and vertical streaming. It's fantastic. You can do both at the same time, and the discoverability for vertical streaming, because you show up in the shorts feed, is incredible. But there's a huge caveat. YouTube has it set up so that your horizontal live stream and your vertical live stream are completely separate from one another. They don't share viewer counts, they don't share chat, they don't share any information, title, description, tags, nothing. You have to manually set each one every time you go live. This makes just the act of going live extremely complicated, because you have to go through and set the title and everything and choose your stream keys and whatever else. But then it also makes it more difficult for your viewers, because they have to then identify whether they want to watch vertically or horizontally. They can't just switch back and forth. I think a little like rotation button down on the bottom play controls would be fantastic, something that just swaps from one to the other. Or if they're on their phone, they can go vertical to chat with you and not miss anything, but then they can also turn their phone horizontal to watch your traditional output if they don't want to chat. This seems like a really simple feature and concept, especially when TikTok is already doing it and there's hints that Twitch may be doing it in the future. Another big problem with YouTube streaming that I have is YouTube has no viewer rewards system or roles system like Twitch, and that's a huge part of Twitch. It helps with engagement. You watch any how to be a streamer video, they're going to tell you set up channel points as soon as you can. Having channel rewards and roles helps with viewer engagement, because viewers want to become a loyal enough viewer that you feel they deserve VIP, or a responsible and loyal viewer so that they deserve mod status. And then everybody else just wants to use your channel points, whether it's to make you do something stupid or play a funny sound or modify your stream, whatever it is. YouTube doesn't have this. The only way to do this is to use a third-party tool like Stream Elements or Streamlabs OBS that have a loyalty point system built in. So the more your viewers watch, the more loyalty points they earn, and then they can use those to run certain chat commands or whatever. The problem is that there's no easy way to know how many points you have, because we're on Twitch, it's right there in the bottom and it pops up a little ding, you've got 300 more points or 50 more points, whatever. With the loyalty systems, you have to either spam chat with a chat bot that tells every user what their points are, or the user has to use a specific chat command to pull their points, to get shown their points by the chat bot. But more than that, they don't necessarily know what commands they can and can't use, and it's difficult for you to tell every viewer, particularly as a smaller streamer, what commands are available, how they work, and where they can find the list. And then on top of that, the viewer has to remember. They have to remember all of the commands or save your list of commands so that they can then interact with chat and use those commands, because they have to know how to find out how many loyalty points they have. They have to know the command to run certain, action A, B, C, D. Some people have 30 channel point redeems on Twitch. That's, minimum 32, I think, commands that they'd have to memorize or save a list for. So the third and possibly one of the biggest issues with YouTube live streaming is their moderation features. They have buried them in just so many layers of UI, and it makes it difficult to stream as a new streamer, somebody who doesn't have mods and constant viewers, because you then have to have extra windows open. And then if you want to add somebody as a mod, you usually have to do it off stream or pause in your stream to go find the settings. You have to, it's complicated, let me read it. To add somebody as a mod on YouTube, you have to go into the YouTube studio, then into the settings, from there into the community tab, and then you have to add the user's channel URL, which means that you actually have to go find their channel URL or have them send it to you somehow, copy it, and then go back to this page and paste it in there. And I believe they then have to accept it, which is just crazy. If you know of an easier way to add mods, go ahead and let me know in the comments, because I would love to know about it. All right, so now we're on to more viewer engagement stuff. YouTube is still a search engine. They haven't fully embraced being a social platform. Right now, you can hide the channels that you are subbed to. And if you have that setting turned on, when you go into a live stream and you sub, it doesn't notify the streamer. So I think having a public display name and then making that public display name always show actions in live streams in the notifications list, you know, tell the streamer, hey, they got this sub, because if you don't tell the streamer, hey, so-and-so subbed, then you're missing an opportunity if they haven't chatted yet to start a conversation with them. And if they have been chatting with you, they may expect you to say thank you, you know, show appreciation for their support of you, but you can't do that because YouTube never told you that they did it. So the final flaw with YouTube live streaming is the API. And this is something you may not notice at first, because unless you're a developer, you're not actually interacting with the API, but it's apparent even if you're not a developer. You just have to know what to look for. But let me preface by saying I'm not a developer, so some of the nuance of this and the vernacular may be wrong. This is just my general understanding as somebody who's pretty tech savvy. YouTube's API doesn't capture and provide enough data to developers. The Twitch API will let you grab a user's username, profile picture, when they followed you, the last time they were active in your stream, whether or not they're subbed to you, whether or not they're VIP, whether or not they're mod, a whole bunch of information. My experience using different streaming tools tells me that YouTube's API pretty much only lets you change your title, your description, maybe notify you if you got a subscriber based on whether or not the user has their subs list private or not. There's also something with user groups, which I don't know what that is, but I've seen it in StreamerBot. Additionally, regarding the YouTube API, they don't have a live data stream or capture feature like Twitch does. Not having a live data capture means that every time a service, such as a chat manager, wants to pull your messages and display them to you, they have to actually make a request on the API. And YouTube's API sets a daily quota, which means the number, it's just a number, the number of requests they can make in a day. Now, depending on the service, that could be an astronomically large number that'll never get used, or it can be barely enough or never enough. So every time a service wants to pull chat from YouTube, they have to make a request to the API to pull the new messages, and then they have to display them to you. The way to do this is every 1 to 10 seconds, make that request to the API. Whereas on Twitch, it's just a live feed. When a new message comes in, Twitch allows you to just automatically direct it to you as well. It allows the service to direct it through them and out to you. So this is why many chat services on YouTube will have a delay, and they'll come in batches. If you've ever seen that, I know Harris Heller, I think when he was streaming Restream back when Twitch first announced that you could multi-stream, his YouTube messages were coming in big chunks of like 20 messages at a time. And that's because Restream was pinging YouTube every 5 seconds for new messages. And in those 5 seconds, he'd get 10, 20 messages and they'd all come in at once. Instead of it being a live stream and it just filtering it, you know, filling in wherever they filled in, you know, in relation to the Twitch messages. Now, when a service runs out of quota for the day, the service just stops working for YouTube. So if you're a service that's pulling chat messages for hundreds or even thousands of users and you don't have enough quota, your service can just die halfway through the day because chat messages burn up so much of the quota. Plus you've got other things you're doing with the API as well. Other requests you're making to it for things like alerts. Anyway, this video has gotten very long. The pros of YouTube streaming is that you can stream vertically in the shorts feed, and that's great for discoverability because people will be scrolling through and suddenly find your stream and maybe watch for a few minutes and chat, maybe give you a sub. It's great. Everybody out here talking about YouTube's vertical streaming says that they get way more viewers when they stream to the shorts feed than regularly streaming, because they're getting new viewers.
I've been consistently getting anywhere from 2 to 4 times the number of viewers on my vertical streams compared to my regular horizontal streams.
Now a platform is actually pushing you to random live streams. So I think that's great. If you agree with me about why YouTube live streaming sucks and would like to see YouTube make some changes and give us these quality of life fixes, then please like this video, share it with a friend. Also, consider subscribing and let me know in the comments down below, you know, what do you think the best and the worst part of YouTube live streaming is right now, today in August 2024. See ya.